First look at oxygenos 11 based on Android 11 from the OnePlus 8T running on the Poco X3 Pro. Hey peeps, what's up? Munchie here, back with another video, and in this video we're going to have our first look at oxygenos 11 based on Android 11 from the OnePlus 8T running on the Poco X3 Pro. So as you can see, security patch is from June 2021. The Google Play System update is also from June 2021. The kernel they are using is OOF kernel, and of course this is a port from the OnePlus 8T Android 11 beta 6. So this is how the ROM comes out of the box. You do have OnePlus launcher installed, and this is how your recents are going to look like. Swipe across these icons and there it is. Everything seems pretty smooth. You also have a clear all button at the bottom. Then if you press and hold on any application, you get the option of lock and application info. Let us try out the photos application to see if we get any additional option, and yes, we got the additional option of split screen. So that is about the recents. Volume panel, here it is. This is how the volume panel is going to look like. Animations are pretty smooth. You have the option of enabling or disabling your live caption, and you can also change your media output in case you want to. Swipe across and you should be able to access your Google feed as well. No jitters and no lags. Now as for the power menu, this is how your power menu is going to look like, and of course we have enabled the Android 11 Easter egg cats game. So let us see if we can catch any cat while we are recording this video. As for your quick settings panel, so this here is how the quick settings panel is going to look like, and yes, you do have a bunch of tile options available. Tap on the edit icon and you can of course add more tiles as well. Now with this new build of oxygenos 11, they have added Xiaomi parts and the FPS info. So let us see, drag and drop these over here, and next up let us go ahead and try the FPS info. So there it is. You can see on the top right we do have the FPS information, and yes, it does go up till 120. Next let us go ahead and try out the screen recorder. So you do have a screen recorder baked in, but as is the case with OnePlus, they have not implemented the option wherein you can record internal audio and microphone at the same time, something which Google has implemented with Android 11. So that is one feature which you might find missing on this build, but you can blame OnePlus for that. Next thing, let us head over to settings, and this is how the settings is going to look like. Of course, new OnePlus oxygenos style. Tap on the Wi-Fi and network, tap on Wi-Fi one more time, tap on it one more time, and you have the option of disconnect. Tap on advanced and you can also choose to auto connect on a per Wi-Fi basis. Then if we head over to display, so you have your normal adaptive brightness, sleep, go into advanced, and you can of course change the screen calibration from vivid, natural or advanced. Once you choose advanced, you should be able to choose your AMOLED wide gamut, the sRGB and the display P3, along with the slider to change the temperature as well. Refresh rate options are there, so 60 and 120 out of the box. Do note that 90 is not supported, and if you flash a custom kernel then you won't get 120 either. So those are the things which you need to keep in mind. Go into front camera display area. You should be able to hide the front punch hole camera, and the corners are also rounded, so that one is taken care of. Go into apps to display in full screen, and herein you can choose all the applications which you want to be displayed in full screen if you have the notch or the punch hole camera hidden. Let us go into vision comfort. So herein you can enable this and it works without any issues. You can change the color temperature, the lightness, and you can also set to schedule it in case you want to. Reading mode is present with two different options, mono and chromatic, everything working without any issues. Dark mode is also there, and of course with Android 11 you can choose a custom time range to schedule your dark mode. Ambient display is present along with always on ambient display. So let us say all day and check it out. to see if it is working. Yep, it is working without any issues. Do note that it is going to drain lots of battery, so me personally I suggest that you keep it off. Another thing to note with ambient displays, make sure you set the same wallpaper on both the home screen and the lock screen using the gallery application if you have a fingerprint setup, otherwise you might have some issues. Other than that, you can also add a display message to your lock screen, wake it for new notifications and all the other fancy stuff. Then you can change the font size, the display size. Go into status bar, you can choose your battery style. Do you want the battery percentage? Do you want to see the network speed? Do you want to see the seconds in your time? Go into icon manager and you can configure what all icons you want to see in your status bar. Of course, NFC is broken on this build right now. Other than that, let us jump over to customization. So in customization, first thing you will notice is that you can change the theme. Yes, they have added the option of CyberPunk 2077 theme, which works without any issues. Now, the only downside you will notice is that you do not have the CyberPunk 2077 live wallpaper. However, I have left the APK link for that in the description of the video. Once you install the APK, you should be good to go with your CyberPunk theme and the CyberPunk live wallpaper as well. Then if you go into clock on ambient display, you do have a bunch of options, and you have the new Bitmoji wherein you can create an avatar and work on that. You also have the inside lock screen working without any issues. Then you can also customize your horizon light, change the accent color. Either you can choose one of the ones which are baked in out of the box, or if you want to enter your own, you tap on customization, tap the color code, and you should be able to enter your own personal hexadecimal code. Then you can change the icons, so you have multiple options for changing the system icon style. Icon pack is also present, so you should be able to download your icon packs from the Play Store. You can of course change the font, choose between Roboto and OnePlus Sans. Now before I forget, another thing I would like to mention is that since this is OnePlus launcher, you do have access to your hidden applications as well. And if you press and hold on the empty space on the home screen, go into home settings, you can customize your swipe down to access whether you want to access the OnePlus shelf or do you want to access the notifications and quick settings. Then you have a toggle to enable or disable the Google feed. Double tap to lock is present, working without any issues. Let us give it a try. Double tap to lock, double tap to wake, all of those features working absolutely fine. Next up we have over here is sound and vibration. So you can of course change the volumes using the sliders. If you go into earphone mode, you can choose to say autoplay the music when you connect your earphones, smart answer for Bluetooth, notification ringtone, when your earphones are connected, where do you want it to play, and you also have a toggle for Bluetooth absolute volume. Then you can also enable your live caption and disable it in case you want to. If you tap on phone ringtone, for starters you can change the vibration pattern for your incoming calls. Then you can change the vibration intensity, which is your system wide effect. Then you can also choose to set a separate ringtone for each SIM card in case you want to. Moving over to system sounds, you have toggles for touch sounds, dialpad tones, screen locking sound and screenshot sound. Of course, a toggle for touch vibration, and yes, Dirac sound enhancer is baked into the ROM out of the box. Moving over to buttons and gestures, the option for alert slider is useless to us because we do not have an alert slider. Go into navigation bar and gestures, you can choose between the 3-button navigation or use the Android 11 gestures, and you can also choose to hide the bottom bar in case you want to. So there it is, bottom bar is now hidden. Once I disable the toggle, bottom bar is now back. Moving over to quick gestures, you do have 3-finger screenshot and double tap to wake. All the other ones are not going to work for the Poco X3 Pro. Then you also have double click on the power button to open the camera and press and hold the power button for either power menu or the Google Assistant. Let us check out 3-finger screenshot. Bam, working without any issues. Press and hold on the screenshot and you can quick share it, or if you tap on more, you're going to get more options about your sharing the screenshot. And then if you go into settings, take a screenshot over here using the gesture. Let us try it one more time. You do have the option of expanded screenshot as well, and there it is. Tap anywhere to stop. Now stopped. Long screenshot in the building, working without any issues. Next up in settings, we have apps and notifications. So herein we do have all the applications which are showing, but before that, looks like we have a cat. So let me tap on this and try to capture the cat. There it is. We have captured the cat. As you can see, Bubbles is working without any issue. Now, important thing to note over here is that WhatsApp does not support Android 11 Bubbles right now. So let me tap on Chrome and then we can go into permissions. For location, you have three different options, and you also have a toggle to remove the permissions of an application if it is not used for some time. Go into mobile data and Wi-Fi and you can enable or disable Wi-Fi and SIM data usage for a specific application in case you want to do that. Go into notifications. Here are the different options which you have. Tap on advanced. You have a toggle to hide the silent notifications in the status bar. You can of course enable your notification history as well in case you want to do that. And similarly, you have priority conversations working without any issues along with Bubbles. So as you can see, once you enable the toggle, Bubbles is going to work as well. Next up, we have security and lock screen. So yes, you have your PIN, password, pattern, fingerprint unlock is present, works without any issues. You might notice a slight delay between the fingerprint scan vibration and the screen coming on, but it is definitely better than what we had on the OnePlus 8R port. Then we also have face unlock. Do note Poco X3 Pro does not have IR camera on the front, so face unlock is not as secure as your fingerprint, but yes, it does work without any issues. Moving over to privacy, this is where we have something exciting and surprising. So other than the fact that your apps are running normally, as in you have something which is checking whether something is draining excessive battery or not, you also have something called thermal profiles. Yes, they have implemented thermal profiles on oxygenos 11 for the Poco X3 Pro. Once you enable the master toggle, you should be able to change your thermal profiles, and here it is, the different options which are available. So you have benchmark, gaming, YouTube. Once you use the gaming or benchmark, you also have a toggle for touch control, wherein you can enable game mode, configure the touch response, the touch sensitivity, and the touch resistant area. So this is something definitely super exciting. Then you also have battery optimization, and this is something you can use wherein you're not getting notifications from specific applications. Just turn off the battery optimization for that app and you should be good to go. Then we have something even more interesting, which is called Xiaomi parts. And yes, this is another new feature of this specific build of oxygenos 11. For starters, you have a toggle to enable or disable the FPS info overlay. And then surprise, surprise, Kcal is also present. Once I enable the toggle, and I can configure my RGBs, as you can see, working without any issues. Similarly, you can change the contrast and the hue, saturation, everything in case you mess up like I did right now. Tap on this back arrow on the top right, which is going to reset it, and then you can turn it off. And of course, you also have a toggle to set Kcal on boot. So again, the feature list on this specific port of oxygenos 11 is super impressive. Moving over to utilities, dual apps working without any issues, app locker is present, and it works with your pen and with your fingerprint. Unfortunately, it does not work with face unlock. Then you can also schedule your power on and power off in case you want to. You do have a toggle for pocket mode as well. Next up, we have system. So herein you do have the different languages which are present. You also have customization for the Google keyboard, and as you can see, the assistant lady just fired up, which brings us to the question whether she is ready to help you or not. And the answer to that is yes, the assistant lady is present and she works with the screen turned on and with the screen turned off as well. Then we can also check for safety net. So instead of opening the Magisk app, let us go ahead and go to the Play Store directly, and here it is, Play Protect certification, device is certified. This means safety net is passing and you should be able to use your banking apps without any issues. In terms of YouTube media playback, everything works absolutely fine. Live caption works, picture in picture works. Of course, for picture in picture to work, either you need to be in a specific country or you need to have YouTube premium And with respect to Widevine L1, Widevine L1 also works on this build as long as you had L1 on stock MIUI before you installed this build. Next up, we can have a look at the different applications which are baked into the ROM. So yes, you do have the Dolby Atmos application and it works without any issues. Then you also have gaming mode, again works without any issues. Other than that, the phone application and the messages application are from Google. In case you want the OnePlus messages and phone application, you can join their group and they have the APKs over there, and the same applies for Google Camera and Google Camera XML. All of those can be found in their Telegram group linked in the description of this video. As for the gallery application, yes, you do get the new gallery application, and the same thing applies for your weather application as well. You get the new oxygenos style weather app. And before I forget, you also have Zen mode. So in case you want to stay away from your phone, you do have the new Zen mode as well, which you can share with your friends also. Next thing we can check for is the app opening animations to see if you have any lags, any jitters in the UI when you open and close applications. So yes, there it is. You can see there is no lag, no jitter, everything is working super smooth. Resends fast and smooth as well. No issues. Let us try to access a Google feed. Also, again, no jitters, no lags, everything is super fast and super smooth. 120 Hz working like a boss. Let us try to switch between a few applications as well. Again, no jitters and no lags in that respect either. So what is the final take on this build? Well, all in all, I must say that this port of oxygenos 11 from the OnePlus 8T is definitely better than the one which we got from OnePlus 9R, I think. So yeah, awesome port by another awesome developer with the help of none other than OOF gang. And there it is, peeps. That was our first look at oxygenos 11 based on Android 11 from the OnePlus 8T, running like a boss on the Poco X3 Pro. And that will do it for this video. Hope my video helped you. Likes, shares and subscribes are appreciated. Feedback and comment more than welcome. See you when I see you.